Liverpool are looking unstoppable under Arne Slot, opening up a 5-point gap at the top of the table after beating Aston Villa 2-0, and taking full advantage of Man City's loss to Brighton earlier in the day. But it's not just about the points they're racking up, and the way they're playing has everyone talking. Slot has very quickly implemented his system at Liverpool, transforming them into one of the most direct teams in the league. In today's video, we're going to be diving into the tactics behind this incredible start, how Slot is using his fullbacks to control the tempo of the game, and how they quickly create chances with long balls into the wingers. But also how their defensive shape is making them one of the toughest teams to break down in Europe. Let's take a look. Welcome to talkSPORT. My name is Cormac from Football Meta, and if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Liverpool have won 9 out of their 11 Premier League games, and sit pretty at the top of the table going into the November international break. Something few people would have predicted after the departure of Jurgen Klopp over the summer. But while Arne Slot has continued to build on some of the foundations laid by Klopp, he's also giving this team his own unique signature. And the key differences can be seen in the way they create their chances. In their game against Aston Villa, Liverpool started the game in a 4-2-3-1. But as we've seen from the majority of their matches this season, in possession it's much more resemblant of a 4-3-3. With McAllister pushing forward alongside Jones, with Gravenberch the only holding midfielder in the system. It's only when out of possession where these two players will then play in line with each other. The use of only one player in the centre is slightly different to how the majority of other teams in the Premier League are building. Both Man City and Arsenal, for example, opt for 2 players in close proximity in the centre. But the reason why Liverpool can get away with only having one player is because of the positioning of the fullbacks. In fact, the way Slot uses his fullbacks can give you a good understanding of why they can create their chances so quickly, and they can often catch the opposition off guard. When Liverpool are getting into position, the fullbacks start alongside the centre-backs as a line of 4, which instantly gives the opposition a difficult choice to make. Close them down and it leaves space in behind for a ball into the wingers. Don't close them down and you can easily get boxed in, with the fullbacks gaining slightly more ground and pushing forward. And it's exactly this shape that we saw in their game against Aston Villa. Specifically, while Robertson will more frequently move inside to keep a back 3, Trent Alexander-Arnold or even Connor Bradley has the license to roam forward and join the attack. If the opposition are not closing this position down, then Trent will quickly move slightly further forward. And it's a position that allows him to adapt to the situation around him, and allows Liverpool to rotate in a number of different ways. A ball into Salah means he's ready to add support or overlap on the flank, while if possession shifts to the left, he can attack centrally. It's what allows Liverpool to create overloads in different areas of the pitch, as his more advanced position allows the other midfielders to play in close proximity. Their touch map from their game against Aston Villa highlights this point, with a lot of players close together on the left side of the pitch, with Alexander-Arnold or Bradley moving into this space in the centre. We can see this rotation in this clip here, with Jones shifting over to the left. Trent is in a much more central position, giving Liverpool lots of connecting options in the centre. Even when Trent was replaced in the 25th minute, the introduction of Bradley saw him being used with a similar approach, trying to close off the space between teammates as much as possible. As Liverpool gain more control of the pitch, then this central cluster continues to cause the opposition more and more problems. But rather than going directly through the centre of the pitch, Liverpool are much more reliant on playing long balls into the wingers. In fact, this cluster of players in the centre of the pitch often forces the opposition to tighten their shape in midfield to stop any dangerous passes. And from situations like this is when we see the direct attacks that have made them so dangerous going forward. Slot doesn't want to waste time when in possession, and if the moment is right, the objective is to get the ball into the wingers as quickly as possible when they still have space to be in a 1v1 against the fullback. Liverpool are finding a lot of success by bypassing the midfield entirely, and even if they don't win the aerial duel or the wingers aren't able to dribble past the fullbacks, then an aggressive counterpress in this area allows them to quickly regain possession in high areas, with players ready to add support and push forward. Once they have control of the ball, then the wingers in Salah and Diaz will often look to cut inside onto the edge of the box, where they have a number of options at their disposal. Salah has been incredibly dangerous from this position, finding the midfielders attacking the half space, or with crosses into Núñez, Diaz or McAllister attacking inside. But even more frequently, he will look to dribble into the centre of the pitch and finish off the move himself. Liverpool's attacking record this season is certainly proof that Slot's tactics are working. But their defensive numbers are arguably much more impressive. And going into the international break, they've only conceded 6 goals in the league, the best in Europe's top 5 leagues. It all starts from their 4-2-4 first pressing shape. From this position, the most interesting rotation to pick up on is how they want to close down the centre-backs. And rather than having the 2 players in the centre apply pressure, their role is to cover any central passes into the midfielders, and it's the wingers that will curve their runs to close off passes out wide, slowly waiting for the right moment for the 2 central players to push forward and rush a pass over the top, where the centre-backs can then intercept it. If well executed, it does mean the opposition will struggle to find any options in midfield and on the defensive line. However, it can at times be exploited, especially if the opposition move the ball quickly into the fullbacks, with the wingers then being caught out of position. Like in this clip here from their match against Aston Villa, with Diaz giving too much space to the fullback to play it over the defensive line. It's also what led to Arsenal's opening goal against Liverpool, with the front 4 not putting enough pressure on the defensive line, and giving them far too much time to play it over the top. It's certainly a high risk, high reward approach, as if they do regain possession, they're ready to create a dangerous counterattack, but if unsuccessful, they can be outnumbered at the back. The second crucial part of their defensive shape is the height of the defensive line, closing off any options in the centre. Given that they only have 2 players covering the centre of the pitch, it does sometimes mean the opposition can find an extra player between the lines. However, to counter this, one of the 2 centre-backs will consistently break the defensive line and push forward, with the other 3 players running back to cover. It's small details like these that make a big difference between an effective high line and one that seems to get caught out more often. For example, if we compare it with Brighton, while they keep a higher defensive line than Liverpool, they are far more likely to leave a player free to turn in this space in front of the defence, resulting in them being exposed more frequently than Liverpool. As they fall back into their own box with the opposition on the full attack, then this is arguably when Liverpool are at their most dangerous. And by keeping their wingers in Salah and Diaz slightly further up the pitch, their counterattacks have been a crucial component of this Liverpool team, currently ranked 2nd for XG created from counters in the Premier League. Their 2 goals against Aston Villa came exactly from this situation, with Salah quickly pushing forward after Liverpool regained possession, with the defenders struggling to keep up. So with both their main rivals in Man City and Arsenal struggling to find some form and dropping points quickly, Liverpool have emerged as the early favourites for the Premier League title. But with over 25 games still to play, do you think Liverpool will maintain this form until the end of the season? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you can find more in-depth tactical analysis on my channel, Football Meta. So come check it out if you want to know more about how all the best managers in Europe are playing this season. Thanks for watching.